Hey, what's up everyone, Saintsfan back again with another GTA 5 video, and today, since it is Tuesday, and normally, well sometimes I do touch up Tuesdays, instead of doing that today, I figured I would do a video on the top 10 best looking supercars in GTA Online. So, I don't know if this might help some people out there. Maybe you recently started playing, or you recently started playing again, you know, from playing way back in the day, and you're overwhelmed by all of the cars, all of the supercars. Maybe in this video, you can get an idea of which ones you want to buy. And I'm not going to go over like performance and all that, but in terms of just looks, that's what this video is about. And as always, if my opinion differs from yours, let me know in the comment section in a nice manner, please. Don't hate on my colors, all right? It's a video game. I know not everyone is going to agree, but these are the way I like my cars. Anyway, so starting us off at number 10. This is actually, fun fact, my first car first supercar in GTA Online, the Vodka. This is by far like one of the cheapest supercars you can get in the game. I don't even think it's that great in terms of performance, like for racing, but I really like the way it looks. It's mainly based off of a Lamborghini Gallardo, I don't ever know how to say that word, which is a car in real life that I absolutely love. And I think Rockstar did a really good job in sort of making their own version of it in online. I mean, it's not great, like that's why it's coming at number 10, obviously, but it is still up there on my list because it was one of the best looking cars in my opinion when the game first came out, and that's why I did buy it all the way back then. Number 9. The next car on my list is the Gen Tyrus. Now, I wanted to include one of the sort of old school supercars in this list, and this one just beat out the Penetrator for me, but I do know a lot of people that are absolutely in love with the Penetrator, but the Gen Tyrus here, it just looks so good in my opinion, apart from that ugly livery. I don't know why we can't take that off. As you see, I have an orange paint job on it, which I think fits this car really nicely, and I don't have a livery, only because I didn't want this to look like a race car. I wanted it to just look like a car you would see on the street. And I think if you are looking for a sort of old school supercar that looks good, feels good, even sounds good, you know, this definitely is one of the best. Number 8, we have the Pagani Zentorno. Now, I'm sure this might be higher up on some people's lists, but there have been some recent cars that have come out that have overtaken this one in that top spot. At one point, this was like when it first came out, and for like a year, I guess until the T20 came out, the Zentorno was my favorite car in the game. It's still up there, but like I said, some cars have overtaken it. I absolutely love this car. The ones you're seeing on screen, I have 2 of them. I have a rose gold paint job on one, which I absolutely love, and then I have a matte orange, or no, this is actually a crew color orange with a matte colored, like the matte texture, and both of them look fantastic. One of the reasons I love the Zentorno is because of the secondary respray option. Now, I don't actually have that on the 2 that are in the gameplay, but I love that option on this car. It is based off of the Lamborghini Sesto Elemento. You'll probably notice this in my list, but I am a fan of Lamborghini, but I think most people kind of are, and most of the Pagani cars in the game do look fantastic. That's why some of them are on this list. But this car, I guess the only negative or the only downside that I could see some people not liking it is because of how complex it looks. Like, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of curves, a lot of lines, a lot of vents opening. But I personally love that. I love the rims. I love, like I said, the secondary colors. So that's why it is definitely on my list. Number 7, the Nero and the Nero Custom. Now, I'm putting the Nero Custom on here only if you take the spoiler off. I really don't like the spoiler. It's just a little too much for me. And the one you're seeing right now is the Custom without a livery. I personally like it without a livery. The paint job I have is just a nice and simple, like cream with a darker red. I forget which color exactly it is, but I absolutely love the way that looks. And I think I have the regular Nero, which is just all matte blacked out. I haven't really done much to that car, but I really like the way the Nero looks. And I like the adder to an extent when the game first came out, but it was just kind of simple. It didn't have much going on for it, and I think Rockstar did a fantastic job with the Nero in sort of fixing those problems with the original adder. Like, the Nero is what the adder should have been, and that's why I really love it, because you can't deny the fact that the Bugatti Chiron and even the Bugatti Veyron are good looking cars. Like, they look amazing in real life. So to have them in GT Online in a pretty well done way, that is why those two cars are coming in at number 7. Now, number 6, going back to the Cunning Stunts update, we have the ETR1. And the reason I absolutely love this car is because of how non-supery it looks. That probably makes no sense, but it doesn't really look like a supercar. At least to me, when I look at it, it looks like a sports car, but it has the performance of a supercar, and I love that about it. It's different, it's unique. Personally, I love the body style of it, the front and the back. I don't actually know what it is based off of in real life, but I like what Rockstar did with it. Honestly, the ones that I absolutely love are the ones without the liveries and just like a nice, simple, sort of dark paint job, because the paint jobs look amazing on this car, and that's definitely why it is coming in on my list at number 6. Now, the top 5. Starting us off, we have the Turismo. This one, like the Zentorno, used to be like up there at number 1 or even number 2 on my list, but some of the more recent cars have overtaken it. I absolutely love the way the Turismo looks. The curves, the back, the front, like every part of this car looks incredible. I, as many of you guys know, have my original paint job. This is actually coming all the way back from the 360, I believe. The Mr. Freeze paint job, which I love. It's sort of like a super light blue white, and it has a little bit of a pink color in there in certain lightings, and I love the way it looks. Next up at number 4, the one that I'm sure many people like, the T20. Now this one actually does not make my top 3, but you can't deny, like, the T20 is such a great looking car. I absolutely love the secondary placement of it, like on the door, because that makes your car sort of unique in terms of customization. The one I'm going to be showing in the gameplay is my Saints Gold one, the gold with the black, and I think those colors look really nice together on this car. Obviously, it is based off of the McLaren P1, which is one of the best looking cars like in real life, in my opinion. And despite Rockstar not being able to 100% make the McLaren P1, I think they did a fantastic job with the T20 here in keeping what, makes the McLaren P1 the McLaren P1. And let us not forget about the spoiler. This is the car that actually started the spoiler that comes up when you go. So we have the T20 to thank for that on the Nero and some of the other cars that it comes on. But then moving into number 3, the top 3. Honestly, these you could switch around. I don't know if I could actually number 1, 2, or 3, because all 3 of them just look so nice in my opinion. But the first one of the bunch, the FMJ. This one, it really sucks the performance isn't on par with some of the high-end supercars, because I think if it was, then I would only be using this car. I absolutely love this vehicle. As most of you guys know, it is based off of the 2017 Ford GT, and honestly, this one and one of the other cars you'll see in a second, and I guess even the T20, I like how recently, or like not recently, but with the last few DLCs, Rockstar have, instead of taking 2 cars and made one, they're taking mainly one car and then making that in GT Line with a few tweaks so it doesn't, get copyrighted or whatever. Like, whatever the reason, there's not actual cars in the game, because then Rockstar would have to pay money to those companies who make the cars, so they make up their own. But the FMJ, it just looks so much like the Ford GT, and the Ford GT in real life, like the McLaren P1, is such a beautiful looking car. I love how nice and how different this car looks compared to every other one. The curves on the front, the curves on the back, like the little window, I don't even know what you would call it, but the open area where the back tires sort of go into the hood, or not the hood, but the roof of the car, and there's a little open area. I love that. It's so unique. And the secondary colors aren't, bad. They're pretty good. You get the bumper, you get some on the brake calipers, on the spoiler in the back. Just the look of this car, just how different it looks from every other vehicle, that is definitely why it's in my top 3. Number 2, the Tempesta. This is the car I was just talking about, how they sort of based it off of the one in real life. Like, it's almost 90%, in my opinion, like the one in real life. And obviously the car I'm talking about is the Lamborghini Huracan. So going back to how A few of the cars on my list are from Pegassi and are based off of Lamborghinis, but the Huracan is probably my favorite Lamborghini in real life, and that's why this is my top 3 car in GTA, because I think Rockstar did a wonderful job at converting it. The paint job I have on it, which I might change because I haven't really found one that I really like, but I just have a blue chrome paint job on. The only downside is the back is a little goofy. Like, the back could be a little bit better, but the front of this car just makes up for the back, in my opinion. The front just looks so nice, and when we've done car shows, I think this might have been one of my favorite car shows, because just to see this car, like, I would have never dreamed we would have had a Lamborghini Huracan in GTA Online, and here we are. So that's why it is coming in my top 3. And then, I don't want to say number 1, but the final one in my top 3 to wrap up this list. Technically, it's a supercar, so don't hate on me because this is Rockstar logic, but this Salton RS, I had to put this on here. This might be my favorite car in the game, but that's for different reasons apart from looks. I mean, there's customization, there's performance, there's the sound and all that stuff. I love this car. This is my most owned car. I have like 5 of these. I mean, one's a regular Salton, but then I have like 3 or 4 Salton RSs, all with different customization. I love the way it looks, and kind of like the ETR1, like, even though it says it's a supercar, it should be a sports car. It looks like a sports car. That's why I like it, because it's different. It doesn't look like your traditional supercar, and I, as many of you guys know, like to be unique, like to have cars that stand out, and this one definitely fits that description. And this Salton RS might be, or this the Salton in general might be one of my favorite cars across like the GTA series. And I mean, that's why it is definitely coming in my top 3 in the top 10 best supercars, best looking supercars in GTA Online list. So that is it with the video. Thank you all for watching. Please let me know your list in the comment section. Do you agree with mine? Do you not agree? Hopefully this video helps some people out if maybe you're wanting to buy another supercar or something. Remember, if you do plan on going to Benny's, you actually get a little bit of a discount on the upgrade price to customize it. So you might want to grab another Salton RS or a Nero Custom, or, you know, one of the other cars. But thank you all for watching, and as always, I will see you guys in the next one.